Good morning. This is Debra Cox and it's Talk Thursday. There are some schools that are starting back the end of this month. Yes, and it's just July. So I thought, what a good way to kind of get things going as school is concerned. It's hard to get kids get back in the mood and get motivated to start back to school because, sometimes they're sleeping late, sometimes they don't eat breakfast till mid-morning, various things like that. But now's the time to start getting those habits changed. Make them go to bed earlier, make them get up earlier, make sure they're eating a healthy breakfast. Those are some little things. Make sure that, you might even want to consider cutting back on screen time. Because when they go back to school, that will be cut out unless they're in computer class. So, that's one thing. We all need to motivate our kids to be healthy, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Because life can be hard. And as a student, it really can be hard. There's lots of things that kids have to deal with sometimes at school, which is very unfortunate. But for the most part, if we can help our kids put on a happy face, if they're having issues at school with like bullies, please let them go and talk with an adult, because that's the only way anything's going to get settled. Furthermore, bullying should never be condoned or allowed. And those are the kids that really have problems that are bullying others at school. And that's very unfortunate. So, take the time, talk to your kid, about always playing nice, be fair. Because you never know what another kid's going through. Teach them to be respectful. Teach them to be kind. Good Lord knows we need a lot more kindness in this world, because, as a matter of fact, we're not seeing a lot. There are some things that are popping through and coming around, but for the most part, we need to do what we can to help there be a lot more kindness and less stress in the world. Not only for us, but for our families, our children. Teachers are stressed to the max as it is during the school year, because sometimes they have more students than they, really should have, and that's the sad thing. Sometimes they're able to get parapros, sometimes not. So even the teachers struggle sometimes getting back into the groove of school. But they care about the students, and that's the most important thing. So what I would say is, as the sun is peeking through the trees and rising this Talk Thursday morning, let's get started on the right foot. Let's have a great year at school. Let's try to be positive. Let's help with any issues as it relates to mental or physical or even spiritual health, because we all are in this fight together as it concerns mental health. I'll be the first to tell you, I'll speak up and speak out, because fair is fair and right is right. And so if you need somebody to talk to, please reach out. You've got 988, you can call or text. There's usually a place in your community. Talk to your preacher. Talk to your primary physician, but get the help you need. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody. That's one of the things that people fear the most, is talking. But if you find the right person to talk with, that's going to help. Sometimes parents struggle with their kids going back to school because of things like bullying and things of that nature. So let's all start off on the right foot and see what we can do to have the best year ever. And, just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and celebrate life, because so many times, families go through struggles of losing loved ones. And so we got to be there to support and show our love, just like we've got to do that for our kids in preparing to go back to school. So I'm going to leave you with a few sights and sounds of pond life. You may hear a crop duster in the background. It's that time of morning, unfortunately. But I hope you have a most wonderful day, and take care until next Thursday. This is Debra Cox, and this is Talk Thursday.